Hey, what's happening, guys? We have got a new multimeter to look at. This is the Kaiweets digital multimeter, and it even, so here it is. We'll get to look at all this. Nice looking 6,000 count meter. I haven't really done anything with it yet. You get a thermocouple, not too stiff feeling leads, and it's AA powered, which is nice. They also sent another package of leads, so we're going to have a look through all of this stuff here. Now, this meter is available on Amazon. It's about $30. And if we want to talk about specs, first of all, it is IEC rated Cat 3000 volts. And true RMS 6,000 count, 3 and 5/6 digits. That's interesting. DC voltage from 600 millivolts to 1,000 volts, plus minus 0.5%. AC voltage 600 millivolts to 750 volts, plus minus 0.8%. DC current 600 microamps to 10 amps, plus minus 1.2%. AC current 600 microamps to 10 amps, plus minus 1.5%. Resistance 600 ohms. That's interesting. Hope it goes lower than 600 ohms. We'll certainly find out. To 60 mega ohms, plus minus 1.5%. Capacitance 10 nanofarad to 100 megafarad. Okay. Plus minus 5%. Frequency duty cycle 10 hertz to 10 megahertz, plus or minus 3%. So, very, very interesting. Let me get this open. This is a pretty good sized meter here, what I would call a good sized meter. Looks like it has the standard LED flashlight. Feels like it's got a pretty stiff condom on it. Nice detent for the rotary switch. So let me get some batteries in her and we'll see what's up. I like the black color. That's pretty nice. Guess I didn't take that screw out far enough. Got a nice metal insert there. If you notice here on the back, we have a couple ways of hanging it, which is always nice. The black seems to be pretty non-reflective, which is always a good thing. Yeah, it seems pretty sturdy. Nice. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but oh, there we go. That light looks pretty bright to me. I'm sure it doesn't look that bright to you. Okay, one of the neat features you'll notice about this is it has lighted jacks. So if we put it into voltage mode, you can see it's telling us where to put the jacks. And if we go over to current, There's for milliamps. And there's for amps. So that's pretty nice. Let's start out by testing some voltage. Got our voltage standard here. It's been warming up for a few minutes. Let me grab some leads. I've got the gold-plated ProbeMaster leads, my absolute favorite leads of all time. Yes, we'll be using them. Let's see if we can't prop that up to get rid of the glare on the screen a little bit. And we'll go voltage mode. Let's see if it auto senses between AC and DC. So 2.5 volts first. No. Function. DC, there we go. 2.505. Not too bad. And we'll move on up. And we're moving on up to the 5 volt scale. Let's see what we got there. 5.013. And you notice we're getting the 3 digits of resolution there, along with a graduated scale that should be about at the end. When we jump up to 7.5 volts, I think we're going to lose a digit. We'll find out here in 1 second. This will be 7.5 volts. Yep. See, we lost a digit because it went up to the next range, and our scale is way down there. And it is bang on. Gotta love that. Now 10 volts. Again, bang on. Super sweet. Let's check AC voltage. I'm not sure what our flavor of AC here is in the house today. Probably around 123 volts or so. 123.5, and it is showing the frequency, and it also lit up the screen. Well, that's pretty cool. Very nice. So far, I'm liking what this meter has to say. Alright, let's move on and do resistance next. Okay, for resistance, I'm switching to these gold-plated 4mm banana plugs. They are on 16 gauge copper silicone wires, so we should be good. Move our range to resistance. Now that is showing us there we go. Now we're on resistance. So we'll use our new resistance box here. And this should be 2.25 ohms. 2.4. Looks good to me. Next up, 10 ohms. Bang on. Should be like 100.2. 100.8, close enough. This should be just about 1K, 985, 988, yeah. 10K. 9.98. Yeah, it should be 100K, so we're getting 997. And this should be about 10 megs. Yeah, 10.11. Nice. Very, very nice. Alright, I'm going to take these banana plugs out. And that is a nice tight fit. We'll put the ProbeMasters back in. And we'll go back to our continuity. We'll see how nice that is. That's pretty nice. Yeah, fantastic. Alright, let's test some capacitance. So I've got here 3 capacitors. This is 10 microfarad, 100 microfarad, and 1,000 microfarads. So let's see what we get. $11, good enough. There's a wide range of manufacturing tolerances on capacitors. 98.75. 940, 150. Okay. Now, just for fun, here's 15,000 microfarad. Let me just make sure we're shorted out there. And let's see what we get here. Oh, the anticipation. 16 millifarad, which works out to about 1,600 micro. All right, all right, all right. Let's go back to, we're going to go to diode mode. So we've got some diodes here. The first one is a Schottky diode. Should read like 0.22 to 0.33, you know, somewhere in that area on that voltage drop. And let's see what we get. 0.2, good enough. This is a high-speed diode. Should read like a regular diode, somewhere between 0.5 and 0.7. Close enough. And a standard silicon junction diode. Great. Alright, now we have some LEDs. Depending on the output voltage in your tester, it may or may not light the LEDs. It may or may not show. So let's find out. Here's a red. It lights it and it shows us a forward voltage of 1.78. Yellow. Lights it dimly, 1.8. Green. 2.3. 2.3 we'll call it. This is a kind of bluish purple. 2.4. And a near ultraviolet, 2.58. So it's probably outputting around 3 volts into the diode test, which is quite good indeed. Okay, what do you say we take out the ProbeMasters? And we'll have a look at this nice lead pack. By the way, I would like to thank Kaiweets, however you say it, for sending this multimeter out to us free of charge for our consideration. And I hope I can provide them with a nice, unbiased review. So far, I like how the meter performs. I don't like this look of a meter. It's kind of, I don't know, toy-like. I just prefer a square meter, but I'm old school. I understand why they do this. It makes it easier to hold. Alright, so here's this nice set of, these are like universal leads they sent us. And they're marked Cat 3000 volt 10 amp. They are about half as soft as the ProbeMaster silicone lead, so they're not silicone, but they're not bad. I mean, they're much better than some of the leads you get in super cheapo meters. That's an airtight seal there. Now, let's pull these off. So we've got our probes here, which are also marked 10 amp. And you can see they slot into there like that. So that's nice. But I like these. These are super nice little clips. And then we also have micro grabbers. Yeah, I like these kind of clips. This is nice. Now let's take a look at the initial set of probes that come in the box. Feels like about the same material. The probes themselves, though, feel much cheaper. I mean, if we take a look at these kind of side by side, these are your low cost, low budget. See how well you can tell, but that plastic is like really shiny, and there's mold lines here that aren't quite right. These accessory probes they sent are much better. These are pretty crappy, but that's what you get with your basic cheapo multimeters. You get crappy probes. What can I say? That's just the way it is. Alright, let me get set up and we will do, what will we do? Current. We'll measure some current. Currently we'll be measuring current. Okay, so we'll turn over to milliamps, and you notice how those are flashing. That's very good, telling us where we need to be. Those are tight. I like that. That's good. Okay, AC milliamps, DC milliamps. We'll use these nice clips. We're set up right now at a 0.5 milliamp, which is what you're seeing there. I don't know how well you guys can see that. There's a 0.5 milliamp. So let's take that down. Alright, here we go. 1 milliamp. Very nice. 2, 3, 9, 14 milliamps. It's very nice. Oh, I like the bar graph working with the milliamps as well. That's super nice. 20 milliamps, that's my max. We're at 20.01, so hey, can't beat that. Let's go to microamps. Let me just reset that. Alright, microamps. Let's see what we get. Awesome. Get it. There we go. Putting out 5. Showing. No, I'm sorry. 10. Should be around 100 microamps. 120. It's a little bit off on the microamp scale, but I can live with that. Alright, let's test the NCV, the non-contact voltage. Yeah, the difference between 100 and 123 microamps is negligible. I await your angry responses to me saying that it's negligible. Okay, so there's our non-contact voltage. Let's see what it does here. Those are on my LED lights. I have a bit of a tough time reading that. Well, I just noticed it does have things to make even wider feet. That's useful. There, that's better. Yeah, that's very nice. Very nice indeed. Well, I guess we should take it apart, right? Okay, so I got the top off of her. And it's I just spilled the screws everywhere. I'm guessing it's just ABS plastic. I don't think there's any fiberglass in there. I can't tell by the smell like Arduino versus Evil can. And I'm not going to lick it like geologists do with rocks. You ever see a geologist lick a rock? I have. Back when I was in college, I took Geology 101, also known as Rocks for Jocks. Yeah, they used to lick rocks. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Anyway, let's start down here at the bottom. So we've got our inputs here, our two HRC fuses. And what you're going to notice strange is there's no copper shunt. But this is the shunt right here. It's like it says R005. I measured it. It is a 1/4 ohm resistor they're using for the shunt, and it goes directly up to this. So we're going to assume that is our high current. Got a couple MELF resistors. We've got 5 diodes and 2 PTCs. So 2 PTCs, it is already better than 90% of the meters that I review. So it's got twice as much protection. So that's a good thing. You know, again, it's not a fluke. If you're going to be working on 440 triple phase, then, you know, you don't want a $30 meter. You want a meter that will protect your life. So this is the HT118, and a number of companies manufacture these. You can find them on all over Alibaba. Got a little processor here. I'm not going to look it up. It's probably the LCD display. Crystal. Then we just got our glob top. Our chip is under that resin there. And yeah, that's about it. It's easily, you know, it's built to a price, but it's not a bad looking unit at all. There's very little bad to say about it. I mean, you know, like I said, it's built to a price. It's not a fluke, but it's a $30 multimeter, and doesn't really have any major faults that I can see. It did come with a, you know, it's a very nice condom it came with. So that's pretty cool. I always struggle getting these things on. Isn't that what guys always say? Tougher time getting this on than getting a real condom on a 16-year-old boy. You don't want to watch me do this. Alright, so I got it all nice and stretched back on there. Hopefully it'll shrink back down to where it was. It's a nice meter for $30. It's got a screen with got a lot going on with it. I mean, we didn't test the frequency count, we didn't test the temperature, but you know, those things are relatively simple. Nothing I want to worry about. Yeah, I like it. I added it to my store if you're interested. So that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Big thanks to all my patrons. I wouldn't be here without you guys. If you're not a patron, please consider joining. There's a link down below. $1 a month's all I ask. We do awesome giveaways. That's it. I'm out. Peace.